Okay, I've got the 3 11-0 seed beads strung on the thread, and now what we're going to do is we're going to take our needle and run it through this end 4mm round, and this is how we're going to connect them. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to needle through and around this flower. So I'm just going to bring it up through those 3 11-0s, through the 4, and we're going to come all the way around the little flower motif. And then what we want to do is we want to come out, go through these 3 11-0s on the side, and then out this 4, and it puts us back in the same position we were where we started on the opposite side. And I'm going to pick up 3 11-0s, and I'm simply going to go back through the 8mm round, and see how we've connected the 2 pieces. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to needle back around through this bottom motif one more time, this opposite side here, to tie off this section. And this is how you build the bracelet, and we'll do this with all the other 4 or 3 rather pieces. And then once you get through here, you're going to want to do a couple of half hitch knots to tie off this thread. So just pick a spot and throw in a couple of half hitch knots as we needle through. In this case, it doesn't make me bring it all the way around. I'm going to do another knot, and then I'm going to run my thread through a couple more beads, and then I'm going to clip it, and then you'll be ready to connect the next section. So then just take your nipper tool and cut the thread, and then add your other sections, and you're going to build off of this 8mm here for your other sections, and then I'll show you how to end it with the clasp. Okay, now I'm working with the very first piece that we put on, where I had the thread out of the end, where I told you to redirect your thread so it came out this 4mm round. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add an 8mm round. I'm going to pick up 3 11-0s and an 8mm round and 3 more 11-0s, and what we're doing is we're just bridging this gap here. I'm going to run it back through the 4mm round, and I'm just going to needle around the flower, and then we're going to come back out that 8mm round, and then we're going to add half of our clasp. I tried this with a 2-stranded toggle and it did not work, so I'm using a 2-stranded hook and eye, but you can also use a box clasp or one of those little filigree clasps. Those would work well also, but the toggle, you just did not have enough room to work the bar through the loop. Lesson learned. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to bring this back through the 8mm round, and I'm going to pick up 2 11-0 seed beads, and I'm going to pick up half of my hook and eye clasp. Now I want to make, in this case, I'm going to make sure that the hook is up, is face. So I'm going to run my needle through, and then I'm going to run my needle back through those 2 11-0s that I just picked up. I'm going to go past through the 8mm. And on this side, I'm going to pick up 2 11-0s and go through the other loop. And I'm going to pass my needle back through those two 11-0s and back through the 8mm and tighten all this up. And you're going to make a couple of passes through those just to make sure you've got it good and tight. And then tie off within your beadwork with some half hitch knots. And then clip your thread. I'm going to do this 2 or 3 times. And then I'm going to run it down through the beadwork. And tie a couple of knots. And then you'll just repeat this process for the other half of the clasp. And then I wanted to show you a different color combination that I also did on this, and this was the Aeronite 8mm round and a, what is that, new blue, indigo blue Swarovski crystal that we have, and a sea bead in a complementary color, and then this was the paparazzo, or no, the Indian pink 8mm round with the palace green. So I just wanted to show you the different ways that you can do this bracelet.